Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 Episode 2. Yes, last time, as I said before, as I said in my previous reaction, I was expecting a more subdued episode, a more relaxed, way in which the episode will present or reintroduce the old characters, the characters that we know. And of course, with the introduction of our new villain or our new antagonist, because I think still the villain or the main villain is obviously Osai, I think is his name. Well, the Fire Lord. Uh, but obviously we need somebody else who do all the dirty work, and in this case is Azula. Yes, I try to remember her name because she's, I think, going to be very important in the next season and probably even in the third season. I don't know if we're going to do the same change that we did in this final season. But anyway, yes, but obviously only one of those things came true. In this case, the new introduction of our antagonist. The rest, obviously, we know a lot about these characters. We know how they behave, generally speaking, obviously, and we know those small details. So I love how the show did not just give you, oh yes, here are the characters, here is the new stuff. I love that about this show. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm losing myself into this because I'm starting to try to analyze the last episode, which is something that I already did. So, as always, guys, please, I know this is boring. I will get tired if I hear this, but I have to do this. I'm sorry about that, guys. But anyway, as I was saying, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notifications so you can get up to date with why I upload. Please leave a comment to let me know what you think about my reaction or what you think about the episode. And obviously, if you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up or a like so I know that you enjoy it. Anyway, yes, enough about that, and I cannot wait anymore because I know you probably are tired of this. So let's cut all this presentation and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the second episode of the second season, and I love how the show is still taking time to character developing. You can never have enough of that because even in the end, and I mean every single series that has interesting characters, you want to know more about them, and these episodes are doing a great job of spacing out how our characters think, how they should develop the characters, and they are kind of combining with the plot. They are not forgetting the plot because we got a remember of that, a remembering of that in the end of the episode, but still, most of it was dedicated to develop a couple of characters. I'm going to start with the short one, with our I want to call them ex-antagonists. I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, but that's the first thing I thought in that moment. Let's start, obviously, with Lee and Mushi. Obviously, Lee being Prince, well, yeah, he no longer is a prince, Prince Zuko, oh, again, Zuko, and obviously Uncle Iroh. I love how they did not dedicate any time before entering this village to just to try, okay, how are we going to call ourselves? What is our relationship? What are we? Where are we from? No, they just go straight for it and they just receive medical treatment. Well, in this case, Uncle Iroh received medical treatment because, yeah, the guy is obsessed with tea and wanted to taste the most delicious tea. Unfortunately, he made a mistake. And I love how this gives a new perspective to Zuko. Again, it's pretty hard without the prince in there to remember the difference in Sokka and Zuko, but I think I'm getting better at it. Anyway, as I was saying, I love how this gives a different perspective because he always only had the perspective of the Fire Nation. of the people who are relatively safe, because I don't think any other force is invading or trying to fight back against. Well, they are trying to fight back, but not in the lands of the Fire Nation. So yes, the people in there are relatively safe, and obviously if you are a member of the royal family, you are even safer because you are so separated to the even the soldiers that fight on the war. You are so separated from them that you do not perceive that as a threat, or do not perceive the true horrors of war. And that is an idea that really Zuko just was saying, okay, we're fighting a war and against our enemies. The enemies have no face and we are winning. That's how I thought this was going on about, before obviously the banishment of Zuko. Really, after the banishment, he is still well protected. I guess the father wasn't as cruel. Yeah, it's hard to say this, but they gave him a ship, or perhaps they gave it to Iroh. I don't know. But they have a ship. They have the luxury of a ship, and obviously he was in command. He has people to protect him, and obviously, he has his uncle that is protecting him even more. So yeah, Zuko is just still covered, not as much as if he were in the Fire Nation, but still enough for him not to see the horrors of war, what the soldiers are doing, because what we have seen before. Yes, he is cruel. Yes, he was ambitious. Yes, he wanted to capture the Avatar, but he did not want to hurt anybody. He was threatening somebody, but in the end, he just concentrated his efforts on the Avatar. And we have seen that in several episodes. We have seen one in the first 2 episodes. We've seen it in the episode with the pirates, the first time we saw the pirates, obviously. And we have seen in several others that he is focused on that, and he doesn't want to hurt anybody else. Even when we received the flashback of the banishment, he wanted to protect his own soldiers. He didn't want to risk new recruits so they can create a diversion for a more prepared battalion of troops, of Fire Nation troops. So yes, we have various examples of these, of Prince Zuko just trying to protect his people, and him being protected for the true meaning of war. But now that he's starting to see in a very personal way how the Fire Nation is attacking everybody, is affecting everybody, and is taking and is being ruthless, because yes, the leader is ruthless, and he's starting to see that. He's starting to understand that the Fire Nation is not what he thinks it is. And it's wonderful because he is not just changing his mind immediately. Because yes, he's still ruthless and wants to have a little bit of commodity, let's say, by stealing the horse, bird, whatever that creature is. But still, I think he's starting to see just how terrible the Fire Nation really is. And that is something I really appreciate for the show showing us. I really like the way they are not rushing anything. They are going to show us, I guess, for what I think in this episode, for what I see in this episode, I think they are starting to showing us how in this case, Zuko is going to change his ideas. How is he going to be more sympathetic to the rest of the nations? And I don't think Zuko is going to return to the Fire Nation as an ally, or at least not an ally to his father. And it's fascinating, and I'm full of hope because I really like Uncle Iroh and I really like Zuko. His life has not been easy for Zuko. Yes, I guess some part of it is easy, but after the banishment, after the punishment, after all of that, his life hasn't been exactly been easy, and he's going down every single time. So he's really suffering, and my guess, this is a way of, I don't know, trying to redeem himself, or the show trying to redeem this character, or at least that's what I hope. That's what I want to see. Anyway, yeah, that is just half of the episode. The other half, we're concentrating more between the relationship between Aang and between Katara. And this is starting to obviously give us more romantic subplot. In my opinion, once again, I think is well managed. Because it's not in your face, and this is a trope for shonen protagonists. And yes, I know I am comparing to a Japanese animation, and this is a Western animation, but I think it's worth the comparison. Usually in a shonen manga or in a shonen anime, our protagonists only develop the feelings or develop the romantic feelings, I think is more precise, once the character development needed. There is a joke in which you put several shonen protagonists and you put their possible love interests, and they say, "Oh, you love his ass, but you have to wait until he needed for character development," and that is kind of true. They do not concentrate the shonen manga and the shonen anime do not concentrate in romance until obviously the protagonist need it. He needs to really release his power. Oh, put the loved one in danger. I don't know. It's some stuff like that. But I love how this show is taking a trope and saying, no, yes, they are in danger, but both are in danger. And we're starting to see the romantic subplot there. We're starting to be developed little by little and in both sides. Because yes, we know that Aang is probably already in love with Katara, and we know Katara probably at the beginning of the series just sees him as a little kid, as a little brother. But she's starting to develop her romantic feelings. She's starting to develop these romantic feelings towards Aang, and I think the culmination, well, not the culmination, one of the major steps that they took in this relationship was in this episode, and obviously thanks to the key, because the one who suggested the keys was obviously Katara, and that speaks something else, or at least in my mind it speaks something else, that these feelings are starting to bloom, are starting to grow, and that's why I say, okay, maybe we should kiss to escape the cave. Obviously Aang ruins that because he's a terrible flirt, and he doesn't have any idea how to respond to that. Because yes, he was so happy when Katara suggested that, but he doesn't want to let everybody else, especially Katara, know his feelings. So yeah, he said something very, very stupid, and kind of ruins his chance. And I say kind of because yeah, in the end, or at the end of the episode, I don't know if they kiss, but if they did not, they were pretty close to that. Yeah, obviously the character development in this case is more of a romantic development. We're starting to see another side of these two characters, in this case Aang and Katara. Unfortunately for Sokka, he was trapped with the singing bunch, and he was not very happy, because honestly, these dudes were high as hell. Seriously high. Yes, I know there must be a representation of hippies. That's what I think. But my god, they were so high. I don't know what the hell were they smoking, or even they were smoking something. I have no clue, but that shit is really strong. Let me tell you. So yes, it's a fascinating one. It's a fascinating topic. Obviously, the funny side is with Sokka, but the character development is with Aang and Katara. But obviously, we could not leave it like that. Well, no, before that, I love the little legend that we got in this episode. How the city of Omashu was named, because obviously the two lovers that built this tunnel and probably were the first earthbenders, if I understand correctly, was named after them. I love how the name of the woman is Oma and the name of the man is Shu, and obviously, so they can represent the city, can represent the love of these two people. They named the city Omashu. I love those little details that give more depth to the world of Avatar. Those little legends and how not everything is perfect in this world. Yes, we have seen that in the modern world thanks to the war, and I mean modern world with within the episode or within the series. But I love how even the legends end up in tragedy, end up in all this stuff. But even so, even with the tragedy, something great come out of it. So yes, I love those little details that make the lore richer. But now let's really go into the dark part. How they took the Fire Nation already take over the city of Omashu. How they managed to do that, because yes, their defenses were magnificent. The last time we got into this city were just outstanding defenses, but I think I have an idea, and this has something to do with the episode of the Airwalkers, I think they were called, when they created the Zeppelin. They took the design of this Zeppelin and just steal it, let's say, and use it against Omashu. Yes, that's what gave them an advantage to the Fire Nation, because now they could attack from the air, and obviously there is no way for you to, well, encase your entire city in a dome, because yeah, that will be very bad for the city. You can grow plants with that in complete darkness. It's depressing, honestly, and obviously in a certain moment you're going to need to breathe, and I don't think there is going to be a lot of oxygen in that place if you seal your city. So I guess thanks to the Zeppelins of that episode of the Airwalkers, I think it was, I think thanks to that technology they could be able to attack the city from the air, and obviously took over said city of Omashu. I don't know what is going to happen next, because yeah, the one who should be teaching Aang how to earthbend, it's in the city, and I highly doubt they could infiltrate this one. So I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I don't know what the hell is going on even with the plot, but I love how they set up that bit, because I am so excited for the next episode and to know what the hell is going to happen. But anyway, I think I exhausted the topic of this one. I hope you enjoy it, and remember, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and obviously turn on notification. If you like the video, please give me a like and leave a comment to let me know what you like about the episode, what you like about my reaction and my commentary. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that will be even better, and if you want to share the video with somebody else, thank you so much for that in advance. But anyway, the only thing I have to say is obviously thank you for your attention, and see you on the next one. Bye!
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like, so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks, and see you on the next one.